says. It's going to be a loud ass straight pipe. Straight pipe time on an N54 of all things. He said it needed to be louder. I thought it was pretty loud when we were backing it in, as y'all heard. That being said, he can't hear himself on track, and that sucks. I get it. I run straight pipes on everything. Like I said, nothing crazy today, just a quick one. Let's build a super cool straight pipe, and I'll give you guys some tips and tricks along the way. So his factory exhaust hung pretty damn low, in my opinion. I already took it out, but I can show you. It sat about that high. And it was below this transmission brace and kind of just shot across with two big cans right here, resonator style. And then came back into a 3-inch and went into a factory muffler. We went ahead and chopped the down pipe at the 3-inch before the 2.5s. And what we're essentially gonna do is, I have it taped on for now, but weld a V-band on to it right here, out of the way of danger. Tacked probably a 50-degree fitting right here, and then had to do a little sanding prep until it was nice and tight. We're gonna run across here, do a little 45, kind of come up at the same time, another 45, move along the drive shaft, and then he wants a turn down right here at the axle. All right, let's get started on this section. All right, for Harbor Freight band saws, you know, this could be worse, all things considered. Jeez, Andrew. Quick tap on the grinder. And that thing's pretty clean. Look, it's a good bandsaw if you take your time with it, you know? You just gotta put a good blade on it eventually if you're gonna be cutting stainless like this. But I've been using it for a long time. Probably put 4 blades on it. Let's go ahead and pull this down pipe apart, check my tape section here and see if we can't shorten this probably a 1/4 inch before welding, because it would be nice to be able to tuck everything up just a little bit tighter right through here. All right, initial inspection. I'll be able to sand that down, maybe fuse weld if it's multiple seams, and that is a good bit shorter. That should help. I love this stuff. It won't melt or leave any residue. I could tack literally right there with it. All right, let's tack this together and then go test fit it. Tiny gap, but that'll weld just fine. I mean, it even did it without any filler there. So let's go test fit that, and then we'll weld it up. Great machine, but the fan always runs. Kind of annoying, but I'd buy another one. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and purge this when we weld everything, so it doesn't sugar or anything on the inside, and it's as strong as possible. I'm also gonna use filler on everything rather than fusing it, because he's gonna run it into stuff. His old one had run into stuff, and I'm gonna tuck this as high as I can, but it's still, I mean, it'll hit things occasionally. We'll make it really strong. Now, the best way that I have found to purge is to buy, to start, some silicone powder coating plugs off of eBay. There's no reason to spend all that money on those really expensive ones. We're gonna need a dual flow regulator, which is really not that expensive, like 30 or 50 bucks on Amazon. And then get some tube to run your purge gas. Come on around and plug it on in. Drill a hole, of course, right here. Now for this side, we could get another powder coating plug, but there's something else I wanted to show you, because everybody's got aluminum foil at home. Take yourself a strip of aluminum foil and start balling it up And then grab yourself a piece of aluminum fill rod or something about this thickness and poke it, there we go, poke it through. And we have a purge plug. Back to our machine. Let's turn this so we can see it better. We got a little over 40. We'll dial that back for the cup, like 38. It's a big cup, one of the Fupas. And then we will start our purge gas. Now, there we go. We'll give it a good bit so that it fills up. And then when it comes time to actually weld, you want it down under 10. Like 5 or 10. Cool. Let's get this thing filled up and we'll weld this side and this side. I'll let it cool down for a little bit. But I've only got the machine at around 67 amps, a little higher for this thickness, 065, a little bit low for this thickness, but it takes the edge of the V-band really nicely. So I'm just kind of, I mean, that's welding really, really nicely because of the nice fit up. As long as you have good fit up, guys, you can do this. First one's done. It's not perfect, but it's pretty. Nothing like a V-band and some clean stainless bro material. Machine's at 65 amps for it. And I'm not moving all that quick, but I am letting it cool down between. Perfecto. All right, let's purge it and weld it. Well, the storm outside is one of the heaviest I've heard here. That being said, we haven't lost power, and it's been some of the most peaceful, tranquil welding I've ever gotten. Something about it just makes welding easier, I guess. All right, shut her down, close the purge. We'll let this one cool down and go make our next pipe. Look at that. Like I said, as long as you know what to look for in your puddle, which is basically a molten spiraling pool of stainless, kind of like it looks agitated, and you move quickly, and you have your amp set accordingly, and your parts clean as could be, you can get results like that. I mean, I'm new to welding. I've only been doing it like a year, and I'm really happy with these. And first part's in. Now we'll go ahead, grab an elbow, and we'll shoot this across and up and report back. God, I love welding with stainless bros, man. That is such good material. Even his Ace Race Parts V-band was nice. Just good stainless across the board here today. Just pulled this back out of the car. Got a good guess on this 48-degree elbow, and I have another one here so that it will shoot across the drive shaft area and then turn straight to exit. Oh, that last pass was good. Got this taped up and hung from here, and it looked like that 48 degrees. I had to match this one. I mean, it kind of made the pipe rub here just a little bit, so I'm gonna get slightly more out of it and run it straight, and then we will wiggle our way into his dump tube. Like I said, the 47.6 or 5, it's just right at 48. this 48-degree cut just wasn't enough. So I have 49, 45 and a half. Probably gonna just see if this one fits in there before I do anything else. And how does this look? Oh yeah, baby. We can even run a little tab right here. And that can be a hanger. Oh, look at that. All right, another one done. Let's go fit this up. As y'all saw, I started to have some like heating issues where little spots would kind of lose gas coverage. So I threw a bigger cup on and it actually didn't help. I think I was just getting lazy and leaning my cup too much and introducing air because there's some wind blowing from the machine. So just a heads up, try and keep it at 10% when you're walking over the pipe, I guess, because you can see there that I've got some hot spots, but good enough for government work. 0.5 gives you an idea of it. It's looking good. All right. Good clearance. These are just butted up together. We will get this finalized and mark that in tack. And then we can move along, heading to the back of it. That looks a lot better than the first elbow we had. I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and get it tacked in. What the fuck? Ow! Ow! Ah! I'm so tired of burning myself. Damn gang, we are moving quickly today. And look at these. Happy stainless bros material. Very happy. All right, that fits really nicely. Nice and tucked away. And in the bend right here in the heat shielding comes up, clears the drive shaft and gives us a nice place right here to put a hanger. And then we will do a turn here that is a compound bend that goes over and up, and then into where this exhaust is right here. Next, we can go ahead and find a place for this O2 sensor. Right here. That's actually kind of where the factory one was too. Bung, Sharpie. Let's go ahead and talk about the few ways we can drill a hole like this, because not everybody has access to like really nice drill bits and a press and stuff like that to be able to knock that out. I don't either, actually, because I'm not at my shop and not at the hot rod shop. At the hot rod shop, I'd be able to clamp this in a vise. I'd have nice like black or really high-end drill bits, like $200 per pack. Here, I only had some of my spare gold ones. These gold ones, sure, the little guy was fine for doing my initial pilot hole with some drilling fluid, keeping it nice and cool, but there was no chance this was ever gonna go through. It's just old beat up bits. That's what we all have most of the time at home shop. So rather than spending $180 on drill bits just to drill the hole for that bung, I'll show you some easy and like cheap ways that I did it. Starting with, of course, a pilot hole, just to kind of take some out of it. And then instead of using a large drill bit or a hole saw or something like that, I grabbed a regular cutoff wheel and I just started walking within my circle, taking out material until I reached the edges of that circle, and I stopped. And then I got a smaller one, like a Dremel tool, did the same thing, hit my circle, until I reached my edges and I stopped. And so there was only a little bit of material left over there afterwards in there. And so Harbor Freight special, you don't need much. Little air grinder with a good carbide bit, and it just lightly circle and walk it out to where you need it. And that is just enough space to fit that and it expand and not get stuck. And then I have decent weld capability around it. Cool. Let's blast that in. So, here we go. The bung went really well. Of course, it takes a lot more heat than something like this, like 80 amps, I believe. And I do recommend welding it with a plug-in. I didn't, so I do tend to chase the threads. If not, with a tap, just to make sure, see, that they're not deformed or warped or anything like that. Let's go ahead and move right along. While that cools down, I finally got some more stainless for this car. So I'm gonna cut that out and we will get the rest of this exhaust lined up. Now this is like a 44 and then a tight ratio, just been tapering it until, if you look straight here, until it's kind of pointing just a little bit towards where we wanna exit. It's eyeballing with this stuff, you know? Put it on, sand it a little, put it back on. Yay, this stuff's great. Ooh. Nice and clean. My next investment's a welding table with all the holes and attachments from like weld tables online or something like that. This takes, like simple things like that just take too much time here. And I have one of those tables at the hot rod shop and it just goes so quickly. It's worth the 800 or so you'll pay for them. Really good. All right, let's weld this up. This thing's getting long, but it is done. Everything is fully purged and then regular welded up until the tip, and then I just fused the tip because it was fun. Otherwise, let's go ahead and test fit this and make some hangers. Nelson's here to help before he picks up the car, which is awesome, so we can get this thrown in, and then I'm gonna do a hanger here, and then we'll possibly figure something out for the back here as well off this bolt. So this is what we came up with, quick and dirty. Plate there over to that body mount y'all saw, and then we threw an OEM hanger mount right here, nice and hot still as you can tell, but this should be done if everything fits. Let's go find out. All right, so I'm gonna call this done. This clicked right into place here. This mount went right into place there. We didn't have to bore that hole out or anything like that. I mean, it is tucked up really tightly. The V-band is completely out of harm's way. Ta-da, Nelson! Cool. All right, it's on the ground. Chris is here too. We're gonna air this up and push this out, and then we can first start and hear this thing. We took acetone and microfiber towels once we were all done, and we wiped everything, every part of that exhaust down, because I know there's fingerprints on it, and if you first start and heat that exhaust, it will kind of burn those fingerprints in forever. So make sure you grab some acetone and clean off the pipes when you're finally done. All right, gang, we did it. Another fun little straight pipe project for one of the teammates out the door. Thanks for hanging out with me while I did it. I know it's not our normal content, but hey, it's fun, I guess. Now, y'all enjoy yourselves. Chris and I are gonna get on this E82 of his. I guess that lit a fire under his ass, because that thing is cool as hell.